Surprise, surprise, folks, some of the worst Islamists and jihad supporters in Britain are celebrating not just Aston Villa's victory against the Israeli club Maccabi Tel Aviv, but more importantly, the fact that the Israeli fans were barred from attending. They said it's a good thing. These fans are violent because they are not violent and not espousing any violent ideologies at all. We'll take a look at that in a second. But first, we'll see the clip here from Britain's Talk TV with one of these main activists against the attendance of the Israeli fans, a guy named Ahmed, of course. Here we go.
Let's have a little look about Ahmed Yaqub and his mates, all talking about game over Israel.
6th of November, it's game over for Maccabi Tel Aviv and Israel. Protesters are coming from all over the UK peacefully. We're going to protest with our families and let people know the frustration that we have. Israel should not be in FIFA. There's over 30 organizations that are involved and the numbers are going to be huge.
Absolutely. My message to those right-wing extremists and the barbaric Israeli supporters who are supporting Maccabi Tel Aviv, that the city of Birmingham and moreover Aston is the home of lions.
Lions, and we will not just remain silent when genocidal complicits come in and play football in our city. Remember that. I urge all the youth to be peaceful and not to cover their faces on that day. We want to send a clear message of peace and justice.
Birmingham is united against Israel. Okay, game over for Israel on 6th of November.
Remember that.
Game over.
Game over.
Right, well, we can actually welcome to the show Ahmed Yaqub in person. Hello there, Ahmed. Thank you for joining me today. Game over Israel. Why can't Israeli fans come and watch football in Birmingham?
Well, this particular team, their fans are very violent, they're racist, and they were screaming chants like "Ole, ole." There are no schools left in Gaza because we have killed all the children. We are going to rape Arab women and all sorts. So, of course, we don't want these people around here.
Would it be fair to say, then, if you have people who look at, let's say, the horrors, the disgusting crimes of rape gangs, saying, well, that's it, we shouldn't have the Pakistani cricket team coming to the United Kingdom?
Well, if you, there's a video going around where IDF soldiers are raping Palestinians. And
I've seen, look, I've just come back from Israel. I've seen videos of October the 7th and what Hamas did.
Yeah, but you saw the video where the IDF are raping Palestinians.
But what's that got to do with an Israeli football fan?
You just mentioned something about rape, so I'm going back to that.
But does it not seem a little bit like a form of apartheid when you are saying in Birmingham that this group of people are not allowed in?
No, it's the Israeli regime that is apartheid regime. Palestine allowed to travel freely.
But you're saying that they can't travel freely in Birmingham.
Palestine.
What's the difference?
I didn't say that. I said in Israel, Palestinians in Israel don't have right of free movement. They are living under apartheid.
They have every right of free movement. I'm in Jaffa right now, south of Tel Aviv. It's a mixed Jewish-Arab town, or a mixed Jewish-Arab part of Tel Aviv. There's a mosque 5 meters from my house. Everybody there moves freely. Stop your gaslighting lying. Us, the peaceful protesters versus the violent Maccabi Tel Aviv protesters. The Maccabi Tel Aviv, or fans, when they were in Amsterdam after the match, there was a Jew hunt in Amsterdam that went on that you need to take a look at, where they were chased throughout the city, thrown into the canals. Oh, but they chant racist chants. Oh, because nobody ever chants racist chants in football.
I've just come back from Israel and I would challenge that, but that is not what we're talking about. But you're now saying that Israelis aren't allowed to come to Birmingham. What gives you the right to decide that?
Well, first of all, it's the football fans, the hooligans, that were not allowed, and that was because of intelligence received from Dutch authorities by the West Midlands Police, and we have to respect their decision. It's not my decision, it's the decision of the West Midlands Police.
This is because that they wouldn't be safe, given the sort of protests that you're organising. I would imagine that they wouldn't be safe at all.
No, the actual intelligence, Alex, you're getting mistaken.
I'm not mistaken on this.
No, I'm telling you the truth. West Midlands Police, the intelligence received by them from the Dutch authorities was that the public of Birmingham won't be safe from these Maccabi Tel Aviv fans, not the
The Muslim mob wouldn't be safe from the 100, 200, or whatever it is, Maccabi Tel Aviv fans, so they didn't bring them. That's the reason. It can't be that the thousands of jihad and Hamas supporters in Birmingham going around waving flags of foreign countries might threaten the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans. No, that's not the reason. They're perfectly peaceful. It's the 200 Maccabi Tel Aviv fans who would wreak havoc over the thousands of Muslims in Birmingham. That's the real danger, guys, according to Ahmed.
other way around.
I know full well what's happened in Amsterdam when Maccabi Tel Aviv went to play there, and there was a Jew hunt going on. I have seen the WhatsApp messages of people trying to organise targeting those football fans. But what I'm asking you is surely football.
Go onto the Dutch police website, you'll get a totally different picture. You're looking at it from an Israeli eye.
Let's say that is true. Let's say that is true, and we're going to look at...
You're talking over me. Alex, you're looking at things from the eyes of your puppet masters. That's the problem.
Oh, my puppet masters, who are they?
Israel.
Oh, I didn't realise that they were employing me. I thought it was Rupert Murdoch and News Corp. I better check that a bit later on when I look at my payslip. But if we are going to look at facts and who has the greatest level of moral rectitude, let's look at a few facts about you. You were charged with money laundering. You've got your trial next year. You falsely accused a Labour candidate, Jodie Wells, of racism. You've had to settle with her. That woman was in fear for her life. You were detained by counter-terror police. You hardly shower yourself with glory, do you?
Innocent until proven guilty. We have a rule of law in England.
Yeah.
And it's innocent until proven guilty, Alex.
Let me ask you about that, the rule of law in England, because I've noticed one of your adverts that you've put out about your law firm, which also has a branch in Pakistan. Let's have a look.
Welcome to Morris Andrew Solicitors in Pakistan. We are based in downtown DHA Sector 2. We can help you with your issues in the UK whilst you are in Pakistan. I'm going to leave the contact details below on how you can get in touch with me or a member of my team whilst you have criminal proceedings in the UK and you may have come to visit Pakistan. Always remember, there is a defense for every offense.
Ah, there is a defence for every offence. Who are the sort of people you're inviting to represent there? What sort of issues might they be trying to avoid by coming to Pakistan?
No, not avoid coming to Pakistan. That message was from people who are on the run in Pakistan. I'm advising them to surrender themselves to the UK authorities, and I will assist them in that.
OK, well, what sort of things might they be surrendering themselves for? I mean, give me an example.
Something that they could be accused of, for example, assault.
OK, so someone's come on the run to Pakistan, rather than just contact the police and say, right, they should be facing deportation, you're happy to help represent them when they come back to Britain to face the full force of the law?
Of course, because they have a right to a fair representation and a right to a fair trial. That's.
I think you're defending thugs and rapists, Mr. Ahmed. Maybe some of the people involved in the grooming gang flee to Pakistan. Don't worry, come back. I'll defend you.
We live in the UK. We must respect the law of the UK. Like, we must respect West Midlands Police decision for banning these hooligans and these racist fans.
How do you know that all these fans are supposedly racist?
Well, the majority of the clips that we have seen, and they're going around saying that they're going to rape Arab women and there's no schools left in Gaza, doesn't that sound racist to you, Alex?
Well, certainly if there are certain clips that have been distributed.
It's okay because it's against Muslims, isn't it, and Arabs. It's okay, isn't it?
No, what I am saying, no, of course it's not okay. I wouldn't condone any woman being raped. And what we've seen in the United Kingdom, actually, is a huge blight of this, a pandemic of young girls being groomed and assaulted. But let's go back to the case in hand. When I've spoken to people living in Birmingham about this, they're terrified. They think there's something really quite sinister about the idea that there are now going to be a huge march. I don't know if we've still got them. That's good. A huge march of people who you're calling on, 300,000 odd people to march through the streets to protest against I don't really know what, because the fans already aren't allowed to travel. They're terrified. They find this deeply sinister. What do you have to say about that?
Well, they need to realize that Israel are committing a plausible genocide, and there's evidence of plausible genocide, and that's not me.
But what's that got to do with the citizens of Birmingham? The schools are having to be shut early. Isn't that a matter for the UN?
And also, wasn't a ceasefire signed? Isn't the war over, which is what you wanted? So the war's over. So what do you want now to happen?
That's the International Criminal Court saying it, and we are protesting against this particular team because they are from Israel, and we are protesting any team that is from Israel because Israel are committing a genocide.
What would be the difference? What would be the difference then of English cricket fans protesting the Pakistani cricket team coming?
You're not letting me finish.
No, but no, what is the difference?
What was the point of you bringing me on if you're not going to let me finish my questions or my answers?
Be my guest.
Okay. So my apologies to any football fan that is facing any sort of trouble get into the game. I do apologize, and I apologize on behalf of the protesters. But one thing every Villa supporter needs to realize, and every British person needs to realize, that we are with England, we are with Villa, we are against Israel, and we are against Maccabi Tel Aviv. We are not against England. We are British. We love England.
So if you loved England, what do you feel about citizens of Birmingham, citizens of Aston, saying that this makes them feel deeply, deeply uncomfortable? I spoke to one man who said that he's scared now of going to certain parts of Birmingham, not because he's Jewish, but because he's white.
That's not the case. I had a lot of people in my campaign who are white, and they were assisting me in my campaign. That's utter nonsense. There are no no-go zones in Birmingham.
Well, it seems to me most of Birmingham's going to become a no-go zone tonight. Schools are having to be closed early. People are having to avoid coming into anywhere near the football grounds because of this. You're encouraging up to 300,000 people to march.
Well, they have it's their democratic right to march. Sorry, have you still got me?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, they have a democratic right to protest, and they have a democratic right to march, Alex. They're not doing anything wrong. They're not going against the law. They are staying within the remits of the law. So there's nothing wrong in what they're doing.
Do you think that there's any risk of this going to break out into any sort of violence or disturbance or trouble?
Look, of course, and I'll be the first to say it. That's why I'm at the forefront. And if you see my videos from last night, all I've been advocating for is peace, for youth not to have their faces covered, not to carry any weapons, and make this a show of peace and unity. And that's why I'm at the forefront of this, because we don't want to let the youths loose in Aston, especially if the far right are coming. There need to be buffers in place, and I'm acting like a buffer between the youth, the far right, and the police. I'm trying to assist the situation here.
Ahmed Yaqub, the peacemaker. He's there to assist.
If I don't be on the front lines, the youth in Birmingham do look up to me, and they do listen to me somewhat. So if I don't be on the front line, it will be disastrous.
If you say so. Perhaps we'll catch up once tonight has passed. Ahmed Yaqub, thank you ever so much for coming on to the programme. Well, let's speak now to Max Radford, who is a Maccabi Tel Aviv fan. Hi, Max. I mean, you shouldn't be going to this match tonight. You shouldn't be anywhere near Birmingham. You're the problem.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Birmingham really is now a Judenfrei zone. I mean, it's like 1939 Poland. As you've probably seen what they've been putting around the city, the signs, the street signs, the flags, they've literally turned it into a Judenfrei zone. I mean, it's like a pre-Holocaust behaviour. But I must tell you, I really, really actually enjoyed that interview with Yaqub, because it actually showed him to be what a total fraud he is. Every single word. He said, I'm telling you the truth, and then didn't proceed to tell a single word of truth. Or maybe he did one. Actually, he said something about no schools in Gaza, which I found interesting. But that is actually true. There are no schools in Gaza because Hamas turned them into terror bases. And that's why there are no schools in Gaza. Maybe, Alex, we can kind of step back to why this has all come about. because he mentioned obviously Amsterdam and he mentioned
Yes.
happened there. So as it's well known and well evidenced, what happened in Amsterdam was a pogrom. And it was an ambush, and it was a pre-organized ambush. The accusations of the Maccabi Tel Aviv fans, and I can tell you as one, although I live in the UK and I support other teams, but you know, Maccabi Tel Aviv is my Israel team for sure. It is a total fraud. Many of my friends were there at that game. The things that he's saying that they were singing is absolutely not true. The video that he claims about, you know, accusation of rape was clearly doctored AI, fake video that's completely been disproved. Literally none of that happened. What is really, really interesting and is really being proven by what's going on in Birmingham now is that the big scary thing was that Maccabi Tel Aviv fans were going to come to Birmingham and they're the big bad devil, as he would say, and yet there's 700 police and everything that Nick has just shown us that's going on in Birmingham, and then there are no Maccabi Tel Aviv fans there. So clearly the real problem is actually the people in Birmingham who are doing this, because that's who the police are there to protect against, certainly not against Maccabi fans.
Oh, yes. Perfectly said, my friend. The mobs of thousands of those people who came to march in protest, even though the war is over in Gaza, Maccabi Tel Aviv fans are not there. They are perfectly peaceful. They're promoting peace, but the several hundred fans of Maccabi Tel Aviv, they're the big threat to public security. By the way, if you want to see what happened in the actual game, all right, we can show you here because, oh, to read this article, damn, it's not letting me. But still, all right, 11 arrested as protest. We're going to go into the Times of Israel here, and I'm going to show you what actually happened. Maccabi Tel Aviv loses 2-0 at Aston Villa. Fans banned and protest outside stadium. There were some videos. It was on the Telegraph one. That's what I can't show you, but unfortunately I got that stuck in front of a paywall all of a sudden. But in any case, my friends, there's a video there, and you can go on to X and everything, and you can see it, where there are people who are waving flags of Lebanon, of Palestine, and people who were arrested from the Birmingham fans, the peaceful Birmingham fans, according to this guy, who came and attended the match. We all know who the troublemakers are, who are the threat to the public security. It's not the several hundred Maccabi Tel Aviv fans who were almost lynched in a premeditated pogrom in Amsterdam. It's the jihadi supporter and Hamas supporters in Birmingham who would have loved to do the same hunt if the police had not banned the Israeli fans from attending as an easy solution to this very difficult problem. Ahmed Yaqub is the gaslighter-in-chief. Don't listen to what he has to say, or listen to what he has to say as he did in that interview, but I think anyone can tell that he's a complete liar and gaslighter. And yeah, some people in Britain, they're just too soft to deal with such people, so they take the easy route, which is to ban the Maccabi fans, instead of making a stand and saying, no, we're not going to ban Israeli fans from coming here. You will behave, or else you'll go to jail. No, they're not going to do that. Thanks for watching, you guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.